Today we're going to take a look at the new EK dose from eCoral. What's going on, guys? Devin from ReefDudes. Now, those of you who are following my MacNet videos, you may have noticed my interview with eCoral at their booth. One of the things they're showing off was their new dosing pump. Now, this isn't released yet. It's still kind of in beta testing. So I'm just going to give you a 100% full review yet, but I want to give you guys kind of an unboxing, sneak peek, and give you a good feel for it. Things might change a little bit since I know it is kind of beta testing stage still. But let's open this baby up and take a first look. We'll check out the setup and see what it can actually do. Now, one of the things, I mean, there is a ton of dosing pumps out there, but one of the things that eCoral tends to do differently is they do a fantastic job with their user interface, and if you're making things really easy to set up and use for the average user. So I'm really curious to see how they went about the software with this one, because at the end of the day, that's what probably makes the biggest difference. So far we got our power supply. It does show in the box there's a US and a UK version. We got some little rubber feet. Have a couple little plastic screw mounts, and those would be for our dosing line holder. Nice little acrylic holder. We've got a ton of dosing tube. So we got lots and lots of dosing line. Now, from what I was seeing at the show, this guy looks actually very accurate, so it'll be good to test it out. We got our little calibration graduated cylinder. Next, we have all of the dosing heads. So all the different heads for our dosing pump. And of course, last but not least, the dosing unit itself. It's got a bit of weight to it. Feels pretty solid. So here we have the actual unit itself, eCoral EK Doser. Oh, feels definitely pretty solid. So on the front, we got power, status, Wi-Fi, and reset. So I'm just going to pop all the dosing heads on. So pump one. So I've actually been meaning to clean up this for a little while now. So I might actually mount the eCoral controller inside of the stand finally. Now I was trying to figure out the best spot for this, and I might actually mount it on the back of the tank. There's usually a little gap between the wall anyways. This is a good way to get it out of the space and free up that chunk inside to mount the actual controller. Now to actually attach them, I'm going to be using some industrial Velcro. You can pick this stuff up off Amazon or probably a local hardware store. If you guys want, I'll drop the link to the one I used below. Super handy stuff. So 2 strips on the bottom should be plenty. Okay, so I got one side off, and put that under the sticker on the bottom. One stuff that's still removable. Getting a extra strong Velcro is an amazing way to do it. Makes your life much easier. Okay, so we've got our 2 strips of Velcro. Just double check your placement. I'm going to probably put it just about here so it lines up with the stand. Now, because we mounted it backwards, it also means the dosing heads are flipped. I always do calcium, elk, and mag in that order for whatever reason. Just makes it nice and easy to remember, so I'm just going to continue with that and do it in the same order again. So I removed the hard dosing line, and I'm just going to fish in our nice little soft acrylic line. We can attach it to the pump. So just make sure it goes just about down to the bottom, and we're about perfect. A quick snip and attach it. Now I'm going to run the lines all the way to the top first before I calibrate it. Now the reason for this is then you're actually calibrating it to the liquid through the specific length of the tube, and it will make sure everything kind of works out and is properly calibrated. Okay, we got all our dosing lines ran. They're sucking from the containers up to the tank. Next, what we're going to want to do is manually prime it. Now to do this, there's a manual prime option in the app, and we're going to do this until liquid starts coming out the end of the dosing line, at which point we're going to proceed to start calibrating it. Okay, so we've got liquid coming out. So calibration, so click next to start our calibration. So I'm going to set the flow rate to low because I'm going to hopefully do lots of small doses with this. So I'm going to put this into our container, and then I'm going to say start. Now it's running the pump for 10 seconds. It's very quiet actually, which is nice. Alright, so now it wants to know the actual volume of that output. So this looks like about 3.3 mils. Okay, so the first one's calibrated 3.3. There we go, guys, look at that. Used to be all the controllers and everything down here nice and clean. I mounted the eCoral Core controller inside, and I put the power bar upside down on the roof, so if you're looking straight down, you don't really even notice it. We got all our power cords, everything's out of harm's way of any potential spills or drips, so great way to do it, great way to hide everything. Other than this little power brick, you pretty much don't even notice if you're looking at, regular height. So great way to hide everything. So it's all nice and tucked up neat. Got the dosing container, or the doser, on the back of this. So that's all set up, everything's plumbed in, calibrated. Now we can get back and we'll set up the app. So I've now been running the eCoral doser for about 2 weeks now, and I've had a bit of a chance to play with it. Just so you guys know, a bit of a heads up, it is still beta testing. It is not fully released, so things may change or be tweaked a little bit in the initial output. So just kind of a heads up as we go through this. So pop open the app, select my tank. To actually set up the doser is very simple. As for their controller, they did a great job of making it very easy to do. If you go to manual, one thing I do like, you can tell it if I want to manually dose, I can say how much. Say I want to dose 1 mil, start, doses the tank. Now, one huge thing that I love about this doser is it is silent. I can barely even hear if it turns on. This is on the low speed setting. There is a medium and high flow setting. I haven't actually tried those yet. I've only been using the low speed, but I can be standing by the tank when it's dosing and I won't even hear it. I literally have to watch for the drops coming out to know that it's actually dosing. So that is one huge plus, especially if you're in a bedroom or somewhere. So there's your manual. You can set your time zone, check for updates. Now the one big, first actually setting up, so we can go into scheduling. So a little bit different how they do this. Each pump can have 3 different schedules. So I'm just gonna set up the 4th one. So this pump's not doing anything yet. So to start a new schedule, you hit the plus sign in the bottom. Okay, you gotta set up your flow rates. I haven't calibrated that one yet. So we're just gonna call this one test. Save. Capacity, this is if you want it to alert you once your container is almost empty. So you tell how much liquid's in the container, then it can calculate how much it doses, and it can send you a notification once it hits a certain rate. So flow rate, so we can do a low, medium, and high flow rate. And from there, we can also calibrate it to whatever one we want to use. Now, low flow rate, if you have a nano tank, is probably what you want. Medium would probably be if you're using on a larger reef. High, if you're doing it for, say, a water change or dosing a ton, that's where you want the high one. But so far, I've only used the low, and it's been absolutely dead quiet on the low. So to actually set up a schedule, so let's go to magnesium. You hit the plus sign at the bottom of the page. And so you pick what your time range is. So this one is basically right now 24 hours a day. So you want it every day. And how much do you want to dose? So this one you set what your dosage is. So if we want to do 0.1 mil and how many times you want to dose it. So say we did 24 times. So this would dose it 0.1 mil every single hour over 24 hours. So it's a really easy way to break up your dose. Now each schedule on here, so hit save and that schedule is live. So each dosing head can have 3 different schedules. So, and you can have up to 24 times per schedule. So just the default one, if you put it in, it's going to dose hourly. If you want to break that up even further, you can do 2 schedules. Do one from 0 to 12, then 12 to 24. And then you can be dosing an hour. And if you really want to mix it up more, you could add in a 3rd schedule to push that even further. So it is a really good way to break up your doses. I'm just going to delete that one. So it's that easy to program it. If you want to change your schedule, all you do is change it to pause it, and you can edit it from there. So that's basically the gist of the app. Super easy to set up. As always, one thing on the housing, it's made to sit flat on the surface. There was no mounting screws on the bottom, so I used Velcro to attach it on the back of the stand, which worked well. So far, no issues with head height pushing up from my stand to the tank. And at least on the low speeds, it's been extremely quiet. In a future update, I'll probably test the medium and high speeds on a different pump. But as always, guys, if you enjoyed this, make sure you guys smash that like button if you're new, subscribe, keep up to date on more videos, and I'll catch you guys on the next update.